Hello, misadventurers. It is I, Kat Kruger. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be continuing my playthrough of Delivered. It is a solo journaling RPG, but by a friend of the show, Cage. Yeah, I'm gonna just sort of do a recap of what's been going on in the journeys here. I am playing Mack Guffyn. And my take on this game right now is I think you could play it in so many different ways, which is what I love about this. But when I saw this game, I was really inspired to do it as a Futurama style game. Hi, Andy. Thanks for joining again. Um, yeah, this is a game. I've been playing a lot of solo journaling RPGs, and since really early on in the year, really enjoying them. This is probably my favorite so far. As much as I enjoyed the previous games, I think this one has given me the opportunity to be a little bit more playful, I guess. I guess the other ones are a little bit playful too, but I can't help it. We use a standard deck of playing cards, and these playing cards are drawn and usually uh, result in a writing prompt. And then I write in my journal, and then I'll read in the voice of whatever character I'm playing. And like I said, I'm currently playing Mack Guffyn, she, her pronouns, and she's a courier, very brand new to this whole thing. She's only delivered one parcel so far, and even though it was a success, it was definitely not a complete delivery. She had some complications along the way. Um, so like Fry, she doesn't really take this job super seriously. So, day one, she stopped at a space truck stop where she met um, an old friend of hers named Shenana, short for Shenanigans, from Feylandia. I decided that Shenana would be like a Fey alien. And of course, a Fey alien would be always up for hijinks, and she also had a pet that she smuggled aboard. She's been hitchhiking her way across the galaxy, um, and so Mac offered to give her a ride to the Ypsilon quadrant where she was delivering her first parcel, because it's on the furthest outreaches of this galaxy, this made-up galaxy. And um, in doing so, um, discovered that this pet of Shenana's, it's uh, it's called a fungi. So I imagined it as a sort of animated mushroom, but because it's a fey mushroom, um, it's got fey powers, or fey-like powers, and so it sort of ran around the cargo hold and then made its way into the box that Mac was delivering, and the box was droids. She knew that much, but she's working for a company called Unquestionable Delivery Service, and their motto is essentially no questions asked, because they deliver a bunch of sketchy items across the galaxy. Mac is completely oblivious, though, and that's why she got hired for the job. Um, Unbeknownst to her, the box was actually like battle bots, and so this fungi got into the box and started creating fairy rings, teleporting a bunch of the droids elsewhere, who knows where. And so the box, when it was eventually delivered, they Shenana was able to successfully get um, the fungi out of the box. But when the parcel was successfully delivered, um, it probably didn't contain as many battle bots as there should have been. But she did make it to Ypsilon Quadrant. Along the way, she got a distress call from a fishing vessel that was captained by um, what I called a Qatari, which is like a catfolk, um, named Maep. And during the rescue operation, rolled kind of poorly. I mean, it was a success, but there were complications, and so the ship exploded. Um, and then they made their way to a surfing-based planet called Deuteronomy, where there was a festival being held, and Maep decided that she was going to stay on this planet until she found another or could secure another fishing vessel. And so while Mac was on this planet, really partook of all the festivities, won a hot dog eating contest, which is a contest where hot dogs eat, and then you bet on them, and then you win food items. So Mac won that. And then while she was basically in a food coma on the beach, she saw a mysterious hooded figure along the tree line. Um, Tried to hail them, but they ran off, and she sort of found blueprints for, um, I can't remember what the device was called, but because of her role, she just sort of shrugged it off, left it on a rock, and it was essentially like an anti. Um, it turned the tide in the other direction, um, because this organization was called the Turfers, and they were sort of against this surf celebration and surfing in general. But at this time, Mac also entered a surfing competition, having never surfed a day in her life. Um, and as that was happening, this device was initiated. And uh, so it seemed like Mac was not going to. Oh, my audio is echoey. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. I wonder if I just have to reset. Just one moment, please. I'm just going to restart my headset. Andy, is this any better? I'll just keep talking to see if this echoes. Sounds the same. Okay. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to change to my um, other device then. This will take me just a moment to set up, so I'm going to put this on intermission just for a moment here.
Andy, does this sound better? I'm going to keep talking, and hopefully this has resolved the issue. Okay, no worries. Just keep talking here, just to make sure that this is continuing to capture my voice. Um, Still echoey. Okay, I will be back in a moment.
Okay, checking my audio mixer. Did that work? Yay! You were right all along. I just had to change it out. Oh no, it's echoey again? Oh, I see what's going on. How about this? Is this any better? Okay. I did a quick I did this quick little YouTube search, and I guess there's some weird thing that gets added on mic auxiliary. I don't know why. Um, so we'll just ignore that. Oh, weird. Okay. yeah, it's so what's going on is there's a double audio track that's showing up here. I'm just gonna have to figure it out how to get rid of it, but right now I've just got it muted. So here we go. All right. I can't remember where I was with the recap here. I think we were on. I was talking about how the surf kind of uh, changed because of the machine that the turfers had initiated, and so while Mac was surfing, um, it seemed like she was going um, in the right direction, and then all of a sudden the tide sort of turned, um, but it helped her sort of right herself. So she, you know, she thought she was really great at surfing, but it was really like this device, and people started screaming on the shore. She thought it was because she was, being really awesome at surfing, and all of a sudden her ship comes by, piloted by Shenana, who is basically like was like, get on board. We have to get going. Realizing, Shenana realized what was going on, but Mac was completely clueless. Um, and Shenana had taken off with a box of what turned out to be pearls, which was of no interest to Mac. She thought they were, wasn't food or drink, not super interested. And so they took off. They delivered the first parcel to Epsilon Quadrant, where the client gave a box to deliver to the far side of the moon of like on a base for a planet that's been uncharted. And before they take off, so this is day one of parcel two. Um, I drew the nine of clubs, and that prompt was for I think it was like a loved one of yours admits a secret, and so Shenana. Um, I made it so that Shenana was acting kind of weird when they landed, and Mac tried to get to the bottom of it and discovered um, she wasn't really paying complete attention because I got a partial success. So all she heard were a bunch of words coming out of Shenana's mouth, and she just like, I think Shenana just like over explained everything, and as a result, what Mac got out of it was that Shenana's on the run because she owes money, and that's why she's hitchhiking her way around uh, around the galaxy, and yeah, Angie, I have a really good picture of it in my mind too, because it's just like I picture Mac's eyes just like glazing over. She wanted to get an answer, but she thought the answer would just be like, one succinct sentence, and instead she got like an essay. Um, and so Shenana owes money. Mac was like basically, you can join me for as long as you want to. Here's that box of pearls. Hopefully it's worth something. Um, yes, I've been on both sides too, I think. Um, yeah, so that's sort of where we left off. We're on day one of the delivery of this parcel. We have 6 days, and I need 5 successes. So definitely am going to try to push my luck on day one here. Um, so on day one, I used wit to get um, to the bottom of what's going on with Shenana, and I got a partial success there. So I think I'm going to try social now, and that is Mac's strongest suit here. And I think So I'm not gonna try repeating, like, what the secret is because I think, like, Mac doesn't wanna get the essay again, the verbal essay. I think she wants to maybe try to, lighten the mood and, she kind of feels like Shenana's probably stressed out about the debt and all, everything that's going on. So I think Mac is going to try to add some levity and just help Shenana out with the burden of this massive debt. All right, so I will switch over to my journal. And now that I've switched over, do you hear an echo here? I'll just keep talking to make sure that there's no echo. And I will also add here that we're going to do a social role. Oops. Cool. So I'm going to roll 4 times my d4. Well, I guess if I get a full success, we'll just take that. That's a 2, a 4. All right, so we got a complete success here, or what is it? Absolute success. Yeah. You get what you want and more. The and more with Shenana, it just feels like there's always and more, regardless. All right. So what does this mean? What kind of fun activity can they do together? I imagine they're already like sort of traveling at this point after after Shenana told Mac about everything that was going on, and so there's sort of this silence on board. I think I know what I'm going to do. They're going to play with the parts that they've got. Escape room. Oh my gosh. I think it's the Jane, I think it's like the puzzle here. They're gonna be playing Jenga with the parts. No, I love it. Uh, they're gonna be playing Jenga with the ship parts that they're delivering. All right. So for anyone who is not familiar with how I run these things, I'm just going to take a moment to silently journal here, and then I'll read it in Mac's voice when I'm done. Okay, so I got social absolute success. It was quiet on board the ship when we took off. Too quiet. If I wanted this kind of quiet, I'd just do this job solo. But Shenana has a lot on her mind, so I guess. So I figure playing some games will take her mind off things while also helping me kill some time. Of course, I didn't think to pack any games. As I scanned around for something to do, the box of ship parts glinted in the light, and I had an idea. Jenga! We spent the next hour stacking parts, which fell over more often than not. Shenana pulled one of the pieces aside and told me it would help me get places faster, so I stashed it away for future use. All right. So I am going to add that as a success here. Um, and I don't know if she wants to actually try using that ship part. I need to double check what body is. I don't think so. I think she would need wit in order to make use of that ship part. So I am going to say that um, we head into day 2. So that means I need to space Jenga, yes, with ship parts. I'm going to change the countdown die down to a 5 now. And what do I need to do? Day 2. Let's see what we draw here. Queen of diamonds. Okay. All right. We have 2 successes already. I just need to give myself a little more space here in my journal. All right. Now I'm going to check out what this actually means here. Queen of diamonds. Here we go. All right. Nice. All right. A nearby planet provides your vessel a gravity assist speed boost. If you roll a success, increase the timer by 1. You may gain this increase once per event. All right. So first thing I need to do is write down what Mac hopes to gain out of this event. I think because this is an uncharted planet, Mac is assuming it's going to be really boring getting there. And so I think, she wants to get there fast and to get, you know, um, so that she can move on to the next job and hopefully it'll be more fun, like, like the surf planet or even the space truck stop. Okay, so I think this is going to require wit, and I will read what Mac has written here in her captain's journal. Uh, some beeps from the ship's console told me a nearby planet could give my ship a speed boost with gravity somehow. I hope this works so we can get to an inhabited planet soon. And I'm going to use wit in order to do this. And max wit is only a 2, so I only have 2 rolls here. 3 is a partial success. Both 3s. All right, so that means partial success is you get what you want, but things get complicated. Huh. I feel like because there's gravity involved, they're going to drag something along with. All right. So yeah, I don't. It's a good question about how Mac got her license. Probably forged one, or maybe it was just like a crash course during orientation, and the organization, just sort of forged one for her. Uh, all right, so she writes in her captain's log, I tried to follow the ship's navigational guidance, but it got rocky for a hot minute. While using the gravity pull, I think we dislodged something from an asteroid belt. There was a loud scraping noise, and then an asteroid changed trajectory. Um, I think she would be lucky if it was a 7 day course. I feel like it's like a 7 hour course. Um, so yeah, so she's got this partial success, and that means we get to add um, one back onto the timer, and we've got a star over here. Still need to give myself a little bit more room here in the hopes that I get um, another success on day 2. Um, what might I do here? Maybe. Oh my gosh, that is a good pun. Crash course. Um, I think Mac might try to actually, put on a spacesuit and uh, try to fix the whatever damage happened on the outside of the ship, or at least examine it. But um, I think that would require strength to fix. I feel like she can't use wit at this point, and social doesn't play into it. Um, but physical aptitude, in order to um, try to try to I guess like weld a piece of metal onto the side of the ship that got where it got hit. Yeah, precisely, Jane. Uh, I think hi Cage. We just missed us drawing a queen and um, changing the trajectory of an asteroid as it scraped along the side of the ship here because it was a partial success. Um, but oh, yeah, I feel like Jane, where you said like she asked the instructors and they're like, you don't need to worry about it. I think they would have also, encouraged her not to ask questions. All right, so Mac is going to attempt to put on a spacesuit and try to weld a piece of metal onto the side of the ship where it got scraped, um, because I think that's what the main complication is here. So I'm going to use body for that. Oops. And I believe we only have one die for this, so we'll see what happens here. Oh my gosh, we got a 1. This is where Mac dies. Uh, you don't get what you want, and things get a lot worse. Absolute failure. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Mac, yeah, welding using a blowtorch, exactly. Um, so I think I see a way of fixing this though, because I still have social. Absolute failure. All right, so I'm gonna write. Yeah, exactly, Andy. That is precisely what I was thinking. She's making a big hole in the hull instead of fixing a tiny scrape. All right. So for body, we've got absolute fail here. Um, so the comments here are amazing. Uh, Imagine Mac muttering, "I can fix it, I can fix it," and stuffing rags in. Yeah, I feel like this crime syndicate or whatever organization runs Unquestionable Delivery Service wouldn't have bothered installing monitoring devices everywhere. Um, so what she's written in the captain's log is some alarms sounded off, letting me know about a possible hull breach. So I put on a spacesuit, grabbed some sheet metal and a blowtorch, and headed outside to fix whatever was broken. The hole didn't look that big, so I'm not sure why the ship's system was throwing such a fit. As I tried to juggle holding on to the sheet metal and the blowtorch, I accidentally burned a bigger hole next to the much smaller hole. Oops. All right. So here is where I am going to attempt my last roll. I think I might actually take a very quick bio break here as a little bit of a cliffhanger here because I am going to try um, a social roll here. It is the highest skill ability, and I think narratively it's sort of Mac um, begging Shenana to help because it seems like Shenana kind of knows her way around ships, strangely. Not sure why. Um, can she stop stealing my nickname, please? I'm Clowney. uh, yeah, I'm gonna take a very quick bio break here, and then I will be back to see if Shenana can actually help fix this ship, because I don't know if they're gonna survive this. All right, so I'm gonna go on intermission here, and I will be back in about 5-ish minutes. All right. Hello again. Thanks for waiting through the intermission. I'm a little bit late coming back because this just got delivered. I'm so excited. So check it out. I'm really happy that this came through. Um, I got so excited about this game that I made a little logo for Unquestionable Delivery Service, and now I have a little trucker hat specifically for Mac. All right, so we're back, and Mac is in trouble right now. She's outside the ship where an asteroid had scraped the side of the hull, and there was a hole that she was trying to repair, but she used a blowtorch and accidentally made a bigger hole. So I think what she's going to try to do is get Shenana's help, because it does seem like Shenana knows a lot more about ships than she has necessarily let on. Like, she can pilot the ship, and she noticed that the one of the ship parts could help Mac in the future, stuff like that. So I'm gonna roll. I have this is my highest stat, so hopefully we at least get a partial success, and we'll see. All right. First one is a 3, so that's a partial success. 4 is a total success, absolute success. So thankfully, we've got Shenana coming in to the rescue here. So you get what you want and more. So I think at this point, um, Mac is just going to uh, sort of say to Shenana, uh, uh, maybe to call for help or something like that, and then instead Shenana is actually going to be the help. So let's go over to the iPad journal. Okay, what was an absolute success? Uh-oh. I need to pause for a second here because I think Grayson might be home from school for some reason. Just one moment here. All right. So I'm going to write in my journal here. And unfortunately, I think I am going to have to end the stream early because Grayson might be homesick. So I'm going to try. So this is going to be a success. I'm just going to start writing about how Shenana sort of saves the day here. Um, right. So we've got here, trying not to sound panicky, but definitely panicking a lot. I asked Shenana if she knew anything about ships. She made a non-committal sound, and the next thing I knew, she was welding the ship from the inside. When I got back inside, we sat in silence for a long time until she said, Jenga? All right. Um, and there we go for this week's unfortunately shortened stream. Yeah, I'm not really I'm not really sure what's going on yet, but I'll find out in a little bit. Cage, you missed Space Jenga, so you're gonna have to read back. Yes, Spenga, sorry. Yeah, you're gonna have to read back, but I do believe that I will be back next week. I'm going to be at Big Bad Con um, at the end of this week, but my flight gets back late on Sunday night, so pretty sure I will be back. Yeah, and I'll at least see Cage there. And yeah, next week we will attempt to um, deliver this package. We have 4 out of 5 successes, so and that little gravity boost gave us an extra day. So I think hopefully we'll deliver this package as well on day 3. Hopefully, I have no idea what an ace is in this game, Cage. I assume it's going to be more chaos. Yes, what happens on an ace? All right. So I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for joining again. Um, if you if you aren't following along, um, uh, we're D20 Dames. We have a Patreon on patreon.com/D20 Dames, and we're sort of just doing a bunch of different things right now, trying out this stuff. And before we restart um, our podcast again. There will be some things coming to podcast based on what Jen Vaughn is running. We're doing um, Brindlewood Bay, which has been a lot of fun, and a lot of those are going to be pre-recorded but then released, and then we'll be in chat for those. Just because our schedules have been off. Anyway, I will see you all next week, and until next time, misadventure awaits.